afternoon, everyone. I am Jyoti and I am an article student in Shanboga Hegde and Associates, Bangalore. We are here to brief about incorporation of a company. So, what is a company? A company is a legal entity artificially created by law representing an association of people having perpetual succession and a common seal. What are the different types of companies? You have company limited by shares, by guarantee, OPC, private company, public company, holding company, and subsidiary company. Number one, company limited by shares. Company limited by shares is that their obligation to pay off business debts is restricted to the nominal value of the shares. Number two, company limited by guarantee. A company without shareholders, but it has members known as guarantors who have agreed to pay up the nominal value at the time of winding up. Number three, OPC. OPC is nothing but where a company is owned and managed by one person, hence known as one person company. Number three, public company. Public company is a company where the shares are held by the public. Number four, private company. Private company is nothing but where the shares are held by existing shareholders or the employers of the company. Number six, subsidiary company. A subsidiary company is where the company is controlled and held by one company known as the holding company. Have you been able to understand everybody? Is there any question that I can explain?
Can you bit elaborate company by OPC?
OPC is nothing but a one person company where only a single person will own and manage the entire company. Other than an OPC will be you will need two or more members to for the company to form it. We shall now discuss about how to incorporate a company which is nothing but a private limited company. A private limited company is a company privately held with a maximum of 200 members and a minimum of 2 members. Steps to incorporate a company. There are 6 steps. Step number 1, we shall obtain a DSC. DSC is nothing but a digital signature certificate. Since all the forms are to be filled online, a digital signature is required, which should be obtained from the government certifying authorities. Step number 2, obtain a DIN. DIN is nothing but a director identification number, and you will have two ways to obtain such a DIN. Number 1, you can file Form DIR 3, which shall be applicable to a person who wants to become a director of a company. Number 2, while filing SPICE Plus form, DINs issued to people who do not have a DIN in Form SPICE Plus INC 32 will be given for maximum of 3 directors. Step number 3, name availability. Name approval by filing Part A and Part B of SPICE Plus form together, where Part A is only for name availability and Part B is for incorporation of the company. Details filled in Part A and Part B will automatically be filled in forms EAOA and EMOA. All such forms should be downloaded as PDFs, signed with DSC, and only then submitted. DSC of professional will be needed to file Form INC 32, and he must certify that all the information submitted is correct. Professionals can be chartered accountants, company secretary, cost accountants, or advocates. Number 4, Form SPICE Plus INC 32. The incorporation under Part B of SPICE Plus form is the incorporation of company and serves following purposes with benefits such as application of DIN, reservation of name, incorporation of company, application of PAN and TAN, application of PF, ESI, PT registration, opening a bank account in the company name, allotment of GSTIN. Step number 5, EAOA and EMOA. This refers to the electronic MOA and AOA. Memorandum represents or establishes a company's authority and terms under which it works. while AOA contains the internal rules and regulations which the company shall follow. This shall be filled in the above step, which is step number 4, and should be signed by a DSC. Step number 6, PAN and TAN application. Through Spice Plus, you can apply for company's PAN and TAN, which will be automatically generated after submission of Spice Plus form. The certificate of incorporation is issued with PAN allotted by the Income Tax Department after approval of Spice Plus form. Email containing the certificate of incorporation, PAN, and TAN will be sent by MCA, which is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, while the Income Tax Department will issue PAN card. If all the details with required documents are filled correctly, then the MCA will approve the registration and SIN will be allocated. SIN is nothing but corporate identification number. And do you have any doubts?
Ma'am, DSC you said, is it for all directors, shareholders?
Yes, sir. It's for all the directors and shareholders, and it's a digital signature which you will need for filing any online forms.
Ma'am, you said Spice Plus form. What does that mean?
Yes, that's a really good question. I shall be covering it up in my next step.
Okay, thank you.
Now, we shall discuss about the documents required for Spice Plus INC 32. There are two types. One, where the director and shareholders is of Indian national. Number two, where the directors or shareholders is of foreign national. Number one, where the directors and shareholders is of Indian national, an affidavit on the stamp paper is to be given by all the shareholders of the company to state their willingness to be the shareholders of such a company. Proof of office address, where you will need rental agreement or ownership deed or sale deed. Copies of utility bills which is not older than 2 months will also be required. NOC from owner of property if the registered office is rental or leased. Number 2, while the director or the shareholder is a foreign national, you will need their passport, address proof which is either driver's license, residence card, bank statement, government issued form of identification containing address. Now, we shall go ahead with the Spice Plus. Spice Plus is nothing but a form issued by ROC. It is a simplified proforma for incorporating companies electronically plus. Do you have any questions here?
Madam,
Yes,
now
sir.
what is the fees for incorporation of the company? Government fees.
That's a good question, sir. Under the Ease of Doing Business initiative, there is no incorporation fees until 15 lakh of authorized capital. For name approval, there is a nominal fee of 1000 rupees for everyone. For authorized capital up to 10 lakh, fees is 2020 rupees, stamp duty fees. Capital up until 15 lakh rupees will be 3020. PAN and TAN charges is 131 rupees and DAC as per applicability.
Madam, what is name approval if it is a mandatory? If mandatory, why so?
Name approval is mandatory for all to avoid confusions of similar sounding names or where the name has already repeated elsewhere. If the name is rejected, you will have to reapply and it can go maximum of 2 times.
Madam, you said name approval only 2 times I can do with this. Suppose both the time my name is rejected, then can I not form a company?
You will be able to form a company even after it's rejected twice by reapplying with a different name.